Hello, it's Wayn-Yo with the old people's complaint desk saying hello again, and I'm in my dogging clothes. That's the old flannel shirt that can get fleas and spurs and grass and dirt, so I can wear it with the puppies. So you're a Septuagenarian and you're thinking of getting a dog, and someone says, why don't you get a puppy? Puppies are nice. You'll have so much fun. It'll give you something to do. You'll have a friend and all this other stuff, right? You're going to hang around with the puppy on your lap all day and everything. Nah. Did you see my video on thinking twice about a puppy? You know, really doing a hardcore assessment to see if you're going to be able to provide that environment for a puppy that the puppy needs? Okay. But let me offer you another suggestion. If somebody says, hey, why don't you get a puppy? And if you actually start thinking about that. Puppy. Do you really want a puppy again, right? Because you know it's going to be peeing all over the floor. You're going to have the patience of a saint. You're going to have to take care of that puppy. You're going to have to teach the puppy. The puppy's going to make a lot of mistakes. It's going to try your patience. It's just being a puppy. You can't get mad and angry at a puppy being a puppy. Are you strong enough or whatever it is to take to show your puppy who's boss? Because really, puppies need to have the alpha dog around here, and usually that's the human. You're the alpha dog. Are you strong enough to take that position? Are you strong enough to be able to lift that puppy, do all the physical needs that are necessary to take care of a puppy, like especially walking and doing all this stuff? You got all that? And anywhere along the line, if you say no, then you want to think twice about getting a puppy. But you want a dog. I don't blame you. Dogs are nice. They're fun. Yes, it's an awful lies to be a septuagenarian in your old age, hanging out on your couch with a dog laying on your, half on the couch with its head on your leg. And it's nice to go walk around your neighborhood with a nice, well-behaved dog at the leash. Huh? But does it have to be a puppy? Does it have to be a puppy? How about a senior dog? Ooh. Okay, so dogs, if they're bigger dogs, they seem to live about 10, 12 years. If they're smaller dogs, they seem to live about 12, 16 years. You get an awful lot of older dogs out there that need rescuing. Because why? Maybe they were owned by somebody for 10 years and the poor guy kicked the bucket and the dog is sitting here, needs a forever home, and it's got, 4 more years on its lifespan. Oh my, the dog was trained, it's used to having a human, it's used to hanging out on the couch or going for walks in the country. It's all this stuff. It's mellow. It's beyond the puppy ages. You're not going to have to worry about it, grabbing onto your friend's leg or something. It's going to have some manners and understand, be socialized and all that. And looking for, gee, man, I had this home and everything. I was, last 5 years, I was doing all this stuff every day, the same thing. I loved it. And all of a sudden it's gone because where's my human? He doesn't come back anything in it, right? I just want to go home. I want a human again. Think about being a human for that senior dog that needs a rescue. Really. You check the dog out, you get to know the dog before you say, I'll take him or her. You interact. If you have a dog or a cat at home already, you can bring the dog or the rescue home, get it check out, what's going on, how you doing, this is the cat, you know about cats. Okay, cool. Here's your bed, you like that? All this stuff. The dog is used to all this stuff. It just moves everything and gets into that space instead of its past space. That's for a dog that was owned by someone. One of the best dogs I had was owned by someone who was a guy who was single, who got married and had a kid, and this dog was 1.5 years old and too rambunctious, filled with joy for that guy to be raising his wife and new baby, so he had to give it up for adoption. I adopted it. The dog was 1.5 years old, was house trained, It already had an idea of appreciation for people. It worked out great. I love that dog. And here was a reason why a dog had to be given up, because they got a family and a dog was too much. There's other reasons, just about every reason you can imagine under the sun as to why that dog has been given up and is looking for another home. And here you are. You can choose from any of the dogs that are out there. And if you choose an older dog, a senior dog, you're going to be given that appreciation of having that head on your leg looking up at you saying, I'm so mellow, thank you. Another thing with an older dog is you're going to sit there and say, oh, you know what, but the older dog's only got about 2 more years in its lifespan. It's going to be dying eventually, soon. Right. And you're going to be there and help that older dog in its transition to its next world. And then maybe, if you're lucky, someone will help you transition into the next world when it's your turn. Because if you're 70, odds are you'll be going a lot sooner than somebody who would be 20. You know what I mean? Right. So in other words, the old senior dog is kind of like an old senior you or me. Comfortable, used to something, wants something to fit in like a jigsaw puzzle. Boop! You're not going to get that with a puppy. But you will get it with an old senior dog. And there are an awful lot of organizations around that are looking to find homes for old senior dogs. So all over the place, if you're thinking about getting a dog, do a little research in your neighborhood and just go and take a look and see what you can find in the rescue section of your pet store or supermarket, and go take a couple of these more senior dogs out for a test ride. You know, I'm saying if it's a big dog, can you handle that dog if it pulls you on the leash? If it's a 40, 50-pound dog and it pulls you, can you handle that? You have to be sure that you can handle the physical aspect of having a dog, if it's a big dog especially. All right, so you look at the big dogs, if those are what you kind of like, you know, boxers, labs, etc. If it's smaller dogs that you like, it'll be maybe a little bit easier to handle, right? And again, they have a longer lifespan. You know, who's going to go first, you or the dog? Yeah, we all ask that question. I don't know. But if the dog goes first, you know, it's a horrible thing to lose a dog. I mean, I've had a couple dogs die on us over the years, one after 16 years, one after 10. It's hard. A cat after 13 or 14 years, another dog. It's difficult. But when you take on a senior dog from the very get-go, and you yourself are a senior, it's a little different. Because you have this kind of like, you're in the same boat. You understand each other a little bit better. You're close to that jumping off point, and at this point you want to make each other's lives as nicely and complete as possible so that you can go off to the next one and have peace and harmony before you get there. So you can provide that to a senior dog. The senior dog can provide it to you. All right? So this is, again, a reminder of where we're at. Where are we? Senior dogs. If someone's asking you, why don't you get a dog, or making that suggesting, then first think senior dog. If someone says go out and get a puppy, do yourself a physical mental assessment and see if you can handle a puppy. And if you can't, don't. It's a losing situation if you're going to be getting all sorts of frustrated and ticked off at the poor doggy. So think twice, think hard. And think of that, taking a senior dog out for a test ride. There's an awful lot of organizations around you. Some of them actually dedicate themselves to finding homes for senior dogs. Other than your local pound and your vets and all that. The vets usually know what to do. If you have a question, you don't know where to go talk to your vet. If your doctor says, oh, you've lost a loved one, go get yourself a dog, go talk to a vet. And say, hey, you know any senior dogs around? All right? So good. And when you get one, you're going to enjoy the partnership. I'm sure of it. Because dogs just don't seem to disappoint too often. But just be smart and get in it from the get-go. Make sure you're getting the right dog for yourself, and that's it. So, if you could please share this with somebody who needs to get themselves a dog and they're a Septuagenarian, or over 60 even, and if you can subscribe, I certainly would appreciate it. Okay, I'll see you till the next time. Wayn-Yo for the Old People's Complaint Desk saying goodbye for now. Hi, this is Wayn-Yo with a disclaimer. The information that I'm providing is not intended or implied to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, and treatment, nor as a substitute for professional mental health care or a substitute for accounting and tax preparation. These stories are my experiences. Go and have your experiences, and may they be guided by competent professional help. And I give public notice that all names are fictitious composites and representing no one person, alive or otherwise. My intent here, as in all cases, is not to malign anyone or anything. Thank you.